I'm so glad to have Prasannal with us today. She brings a very, very rich background of data governance and data management. Here's a question, Prasannal, for you that I've been wondering about, and I know a lot of people would like to understand. What is the difference when you think about data governance across the enterprise and Salesforce? And along the same line, what is common between the two?
Hey, Saurabh, thank you for inviting me for this session. I am super excited, along with Velu, to learn some of the hurdles and some of the opportunities in the Salesforce area, especially being in data and analytics space for almost 25 plus years. One thing I could say, that data governance itself has a very mixed maturity across organizations to start with, right? And now we have added more technology on top of it, which makes it overly complex when there is basic legacy governance pieces are undefined in majority of the corporations, right? Like whether the understanding of the data quality, even that is a challenge in a regular legacy world. In that perspective, I think from a Salesforce side, Salesforce is like a majority consumer of customer data and also a producer of a customer data, right? And with that goes everything that from a traditional data warehousing and data construct, your lineage starts and ends with a different producer and a consumer. We tag the lineage. It just has a governance around it. But within Salesforce, I think the very principles of the element level tagging, the element level classification, or the data modeling, the construct. And I think it starts with data mapping, data classification. Why it's even more important, the data governance on Salesforce, is the data privacy as becoming overly complex. Every day we have a state joining new laws, and Gartner says within 2025, at least 80% of customer data will be governed by privacy laws. And it's only going to get more worse. And it is right time for the organization to focus on overall governance, but data governance, but so much so on Salesforce, because your lot of customer data that is generated is not only leveraged within your different clouds within Salesforce platform, but data being transferred and to the vendors and the data sharing as becoming overly complex. So the basic requirement for a data privacy is you need to know the data processes. Where is the customer information originating and traveling throughout the various business processes? So you need to start with your data mapping. The second one is data discovery. Do you know that accidentally you put a sensitive information in a non-sensitive column? So it's super important. You need to have discovery of data within the Salesforce. And the third is the overall data sharing, which is happening within the platform. So these are the parallels, right? All the constructs we talked about really has been in the older legacy systems and application development. With Salesforce, I think the only difference is with the low code and no code environment, it has made it easy for the business to be able to deliver agile features, but we need to see how we can augment those data modeling principles needs to be brought into the Salesforce.
True. Very well said. I would agree. I think in particular, the fact that, as you mentioned, in legacy systems, tech IT was the bigger sort of driver in consumer for governance, and they were sort of a more key player. With the lower code nature of Salesforce and how easy it makes it, the business has a much larger, more expanded role to play in. And, to your point on data classification, data tagging, things like that, Salesforce actually has those now. I think they were introduced in the last 5 years or so, but I think their usage has not been as widespread. And your point is extremely well taken that, we need to, from a Salesforce point of view, Salesforce data needs to play in the enterprise nicely and needs to be appropriately tagged so that, your data discovery, your security, your privacy policies, everything can be applied consistently. Great point. Thank you so much, Prasannal, and I'm looking forward for this event with you and Velu, and I hope a lot of people get to benefit from your very rich and diverse experience.
Thank you, Saurabh.